Oh, hi. Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. If you don't know me, under all of this, it is Mother Bentley, Duhamel Bentley, at your service. Today, I'm feeling a little bloated. I'm feeling a little bougie. And honey, what better way to express my bougie feelings than with the new and latest Jackyn Hill Bougie blush collection. I haven't reviewed anything from Jackyn Hill, but before I actually went into the review, I wanted to bring you guys a little bit of my skincare routine, especially on days where I'm feeling a little bit crispy, honey. I'm feeling a little bloated. I had some pastrami yesterday, and she has a lot of sodium, honey. So, you know, mama's feeling a little bloated. I've got my eye patches underneath here. You can kind of see them through here. And I've got this delicious mask. Now, I have cleansed my skin. I have done my everyday skincare routine. The only thing that I'm missing here is the sunblock, and we'll take care of that once I'm done with this. But I just wanted to apply this. I needed something cool to kind of bring me back to life and just refresh my skin because, girl, I'm not playing these games with you, baby. So let's go. Let's start. Let's begin, shall we? This bougie adventure. Girl, let's pretend I'm in a luxurious spa right here, right now. And let me get a cold roller so I can roll it on my face, depuff, decompress, and we shall continue with this video. Wonderful. So I have here this metal roller. We normally keep this in the fridge or on the freezer. I just like to roll it on my skin on top of a mask. Number one, it feels so refreshing, so incredible. I know we brought it to you guys before on a different review, but oh girl, I just love it so much. The only thing I don't love is that squeaky noise, but just letting it sit on the skin is so relaxing, so refreshing. It's just wonderful, especially around the eye areas where you can see most of, you know, the bloating or potentially the dryness. This just really helps tone the skin, helps tone the muscle as well because you're training it. It's just overall incredible. I absolutely love it. You can use it down your neck as well. To accompany, because of course today we're extra, we're bougie, we're bringing the balls in, honey. And oh my goodness, this is just so incredible. It feels so fresh on the skin. I'm living my life so good. My skin is feeling refreshed, depuffed, and ready for some blush, honey. Now, if you guys have seen the actual launch from this brand, you know that Jackyn Hill has gone mad with launches. She's doing full on launch after launch, and they're really beautiful. Let's not take that away from it. I actually haven't tried anything from Jackyn Hill. Not even when she actually launched, you know, her first collab with all of these people. I haven't really done anything, and I don't follow her. I don't have anything against her. I think she's very smart, very beautiful, and I'm so proud of her. And that's actually the reason why I'm doing a review today, is because she showed every single one of us what it takes to get yourself up, dust yourself off, and continue on. Which, that to me is goals, right? Like, that is what life is about. She had such an unfortunate situation. Beautiful lipsticks. I know that, I think they sold out as well. Poor thing, had a whole bunch of dilemma, which we're not going to get all the way into today, but I do want to say, because this is the first time I'm reviewing something from Jackyn Hill, is that I'm so proud of her, and I'm so excited that everything is going so well for her. I'm just honored to be able to bring this review to you guys. But with that said, I don't really know much of Jackyn Hill. I don't follow her. I know my sister does enjoy most of her content, but I don't. I haven't, maybe I should start now, but I'm really excited. The launch came with a lot of different things. She came with like cream to powder products, actual palettes of blush, which I got one today. And she also came out with like lip products, luminous blushes. Like, it was a lot. And I want to explore the blush palettes. The reason why is because I don't own many blush palettes, and girl, when I saw the blush palettes, I was like, girl, I need it. I need it today, right here, right now. So this is what it actually looks like. It's called Rouge Romance, and this almost kind of reminds me of like Bad Romance. The Rouge Romance is the shade palette that I have here, which is a more cool tone shades. You have some opportunity to see the actual shade names here and what they offer you. I personally did not grab the warm tone palette because I do own several of warm blushes, and I really wanted to figure out if the formula was gonna work well for me before I decided to purchase 2 of these palettes. Each palette is $45, and it comes to 6 shades, which if you subdivide that, right, it's $7.50 a shade, which is actually kind of really affordable, right? This is almost like Wet n Wild pricing. I'm really excited to know that she's very affordable. I do know that a lot of her products and ingredients are made in Italy, and that she definitely puts the money into the formula. I know for a fact that, if I know anything from her, which I really don't know much, but I'm assuming that, once and done, she will never have a mistake like that again. I'm like that, so like if I have something that happens and goes rogue, I will do everything under my power and more to ensure that it never happens again. Here, my face is pretty much done. All I have to apply on my face is blush, and I also want to use this palette as eyeshadow today. I really want to allow myself a multi-use. I applied a softer bronzier type of contour today because I want to enhance it just a tiny bit with the darkest shade of blush. I think I might get a little creative, have a little bit of fun in the channel that way. So again, this is what the packaging looks like. It is so gorgeous. It has a message in the back. It says, "This is a dreamy palette. It features 6 beautiful long-wearing shades in silky, soft, matte finishes." It also says this in a different language. It's super cute. I love the actual color of the box. I love the gold accent, and overall, this is beautiful packaging. Look at the corner here. It feels nice and heavy. It doesn't feel cheap whatsoever. I was checking out reviews, and I did hear this girl say, like, compared to the other packaging, this one looks the cheapest, and it kind of looks, I guess, the less sought out. And I have to disagree. Like, this actually feels really nice, really heavy. Like, it does not look cheap whatsoever. I think maybe what she meant to say is that this is definitely a bit more of, I want to say, a youthful finish to the packaging versus what she normally is launching, which is more upscale, a little bit more high-end presented type of packaging, right? So when you first open it, you have a mirror, Good quality. Now, you guys know that I don't usually utilize mirrors on my palettes, so if it does have a mirror, I'm happy to have a good quality mirror, but if it doesn't, I'm not dying over it. I honestly I'm not the biggest fan. I feel like it boosts up the cost of the palette, and I'm never looking at a actual palette to do my makeup or apply my blush. But I will say that if you do utilize a mirror, this is a very comfortable mirror. It's not heavy on the hands, and it captures a good amount of your face and a great amount of your eyes. You're not having to go really in close, but if you wanted to, you could. These are the shades here. Really beautiful shades. You can definitely see that we have some rosy, more magenta, more mauve, more cool, definitely cool tones overall. Let's start swatching the top row. Something I found a little bit odd before I swatch is that it says it's a matte palette, but I'm looking at this and they all have shimmer. Like, they all have a satin finish. Now, I don't know if this is gonna be matte on the skin, but they're all shimmery, like all of them, literally all of them. So let's start with the first one. It's called Fantasy. They do say this is a fabulous formula that's going to be very long lasting, very easy application. It's definitely pigmented, which is very nice, very refreshing. Let's go to next shade, which is called French Kiss. It looks to be like one of my favorite formulas on here. You can definitely see that glow. That is not a matte formula whatsoever, but we'll see if it enhances texture. We'll see how it wears on the skin. I haven't really been using them by themselves. I have been touching on them to see how they apply and how they wear, but I really wanted to sit down in this video and not apply anything and go for it, right? But definitely not a matte formula. Neither of the shades are matte, but both of the shades are gorgeous. Let's go to the third shade here. It's called Living Lavish. Now, this is a very dark shade, very beautiful, but very dark shade, which for my complexion, I would typically use it more around the temple area, building and kind of enhancing more of the contour. That definitely probably will be one of the ones that we utilize today for the contour. But again, that is a swatch there. So far, they're all swatching really, really great. I feel like the middle one is more of like a topper or a soft blending formula. So like, let's say for example, if you do go with the dark and you don't want to take the dark too far, what you can do is you can grab French Kiss, which is the center shade right there, and then start buffing gently upwards. So you have color here, but it's not overtaking your face and you're like, oh my God, it's so dark around my eyes and around my face, which I think a lot of people have issues with the darkness around. Like, that's when people start to think like, I have too much blush on, because you have such an intense pigment so down. So if you definitely go and play and customize your blush, I think even if you have a lot of color on your cheeks, I think you'll feel very comfortable and very beautiful. So that is the first row right there. I mean, colors look great. Do they look like creamy, delicious eyeshadows? No. I don't think they're supposed to, because then, you know, that's gonna be like a super potent mega juice power on the spot. However, these are looking really, really good. I'm just a little bit shook because, as you can see, they're very reflective. They're definitely not matte. And it does say a matte formula back here. I just read it, right? Yeah, long wearing, silky, soft matte finish. Okay, so let's go on to the second row, which is a section underneath. And I have Admirer. Very beautiful, very romantic. I think all of these guys are very romantic, and it's interesting because, you know, I guess she hit right on top of the nail, because it's called what? The Romance? What is it? The Rouge Romance? So the first one here is Admirer, which is gonna be this one right here. And then I have the second one, which is Dainty? Dainty, yeah, I was Danity? It's Dainty. Definitely very beautiful, very wearable. And the last one is the brightest one here, which is so intimidating, but I'm really excited to try it as well. It's called Forever. Woo, baby, this is a strong fuchsia, baby. So that is the actual swatch of the bottom row there. I mean, again, overall, I think they are consistent within the swatches. I see them, I feel them, and they feel great and they look great. But how do they perform on the face? Let's break it down, baby. All right, so now that my hands are clean, I did notice a little bit of staining. Nothing too severe. A lot of people might like that actually because it gives them a nice little flush of tone. So just beware a little bit with that if your skin is very, very fair. I think you might suffer a little bit more staining, and I say suffer as a consequence. You're not going to have any injuries or harm or anything like so. And if you're the type of person that does not like or does not want to have any kinds of issues with staining, don't have a worry about it. Just go in after with an oil cleanse, and that will remove it all, if not a really, really great amount of it. And for your next cleanse, it'll be completely gone. So don't stress over it. It's not a reason to. I do think that the inside of the actual packaging, it is a little bit, how can I say this? It's a little, like, it looks just like a little vinyl sticker on top of it. I think it looks great. I do. I think it looks great. I think it complements it pretty well. Overall, I think this is a beautiful palette. Any skin tone can utilize this. Most definitely, if you're more into the richer, deeper tones, you can use comfortably, I want to say all 6. You can definitely make a customizable blush. If you, let's say, for example, want to use Forever, which is the brightest shade, but you don't want it to be so fuchsia, you can definitely manipulate within other colors like French Kiss or Admire. Just really depends on how you want to play with it. So I do think that if you're a person that does not contain or does not have a lot of blush palettes, this is an amazing way of getting a lot of content within one purchase, and it's very, very affordable. So I have this fluffy brush here. Typically what I do like to do is when I do my contour or my bronzer, which I have both on already, again, I did a little softer version of it today. When you do so, I like to recycle my brush, make sure it's nice and clean. My brush is now at this point has no bronzer or contour shading left in here. I am gonna go in with Fantasy, which is this bottom shade right here. And I wanna start kind of pressing it right above the cheekbone. They are a little bit dusty when they come on, but you can definitely see the product being picked up here. And I'm just gonna start dabbing the product in very gently. So as you can see, it started going in very lightly on the skin. Something that I definitely wanna put out based on my experience with this blush palette in particular is that it is buildable. It's a palette that it's comfortable for you to apply and wear. It's not going to be something you're like, oh my God, this is too much. So definitely you can comfortably go into the shades because like you could see here, it looks like the blush is there, but it's not something that I can't manage or I can't, you know, go back and forth which is perfect for me because of course we're customizing blush look today. But again, for being such a vibrant shade, I'm really enjoying how it's starting to give me a flush. As you can see here, it's starting to pick up. Something I love about blush in particular is that it kind of picks up your face and just gives you a lot of youthfulness to the skin. So if you're a person who's like, well, I don't wear blush, I'm not into blush, I don't like blush, or I'm not sure how to work with blush, there's a lot of ways to do this. I'm no one to tell you how to work with it. However, my best piece of advice is if you want your skin or your face to look more lifted, more awake, more bright, my advice, because girl, I had someone come for me. I see you. If you're gonna come for me, at least subscribe to the channel, baby. So I had someone tell me like, oh, don't tell people to go cheekbone high and boom, boom, boom. Honey, if you were taught to go on the apple of the cheekbone and that's your vibe, go ahead, put your cheekbone here, girl. Where is it? I'll make sure to take care of that for you. But my preference, and I've seen such a beautiful difference with youthanizing the face and slenderizing also the face by applying it on the top of the cheekbones and then dragging a lighter flush of color just like, I guess, on the apple of the cheekbone. But the main concentration of color, I like to have it the highest point as well. Because a lot of the times By doing this, you're bringing a lot of focus here and the lifting, versus if you're applying it here, you're gonna look more square. So it just really depends on the shape and your preference. If you do like it right here, where you at, girl? Let me take care of you. But if you don't, this is another option, another way to really do it that you can feel really beautiful with. Okay, so I wanna go in now with Admirer, which is the bottom shade here. And I'm really excited because this is a really beautiful mauve type of tone. And I'm grabbing the same brush because I really just don't have any more formula on there. Patting a little bit on my hand just to ensure that I'm not going too crazy. And I'm just gonna follow kind of the bridge of the brow, meeting back to where we were before. So definitely merging both of those colors in. And as you can see, it's just starting to create a nice, beautiful, rosy glow, if that makes any sense. And you can see the difference here, how versus here, now this side is starting to look a little bit more lifted versus it just around this area, which just, in my opinion, gives a lot of character to your makeup, which a lot of the times we want, right? Okay, so as you can see, everything's starting to go in very cohesively. Don't worry about these kind of strays just yet, because of course, when we're done with this, we're gonna go and stretch them out and make sure these babies are looking iconic, right? So let's see, which shade do we do next? I think I wanna do Dainty, and I wanna do it around this area here. Now, Dainty is this shade right here. As you can see, she's more of like a Pepto-Bismol pink, but almost like more skin type of nude tone. If that helps, they're all pink, honey. Now, looking at the actual shadows here, this is the one that has the most glimmer infused into here. So that's why I want to focus it more on the outer edges, because when I apply my highlighter, I think it's just going to go very cohesive. Now, if this is too much blush for you, it's all right. You don't have to go creative and utilize 3 to 5 blushes on your face. It is perfectly fine. But if you do want to try these types of little tricks and tips, you don't have to do 5. Maybe you can do 2. Maybe you can go with 1.5 and really create your own customizable aspect. But I've got to be honest, so far I'm looking blushed to the gods. I'm bougie and I'm living my life thanks to Jackyn Hill Cosmetics. So now finalizing, what I want to do is I want to focus around the apple area. And I'm going to go with French Kiss, which is the lightest shade in here. I typically love utilizing those very soft baby pinks around this area because that just really makes a beautiful difference on how your skin is going to look. So again, make sure we're pretty much out of the other product. I'm going in so lightly, and this is, with very little product, this is working out really well. But as you can see, there's anything, if barely anything on there, right? We have French Kiss here, tapping excess. You can smile. I typically don't like to. I like to do that so I can see placement more, but you can smile. I'm like, but that's just not my vibe. Okay. So now what I like to do as well, this is looking iconic, like love. Like I'm looking like I just went out of the beach and I'm like, oh, hello. Keep in mind, we are gonna set all of this and, highlighter is gonna go on top of this. So we're at very early stages, but overall, we've used 4 colors at this point, right? Yeah, 4 colors. And I'm loving how this is looking. It's very soft, very easy to apply. It's very pigmented. It's very easy to build with. So far, I have 0 complaints over it. Now, with what you have left over of the French Kiss, I'm not gonna dip back in. I like to sweep where I stopped, the other blush. And the reason why I like to do that is because I don't want any harsh lines. I want it to just be like where the sun catches it. You're like, oh, all right, I see you, girl. So Now, what I want to do is I'm gonna go, my nose is baked, right? But I wanna grab a little bit more French kiss and I'm gonna go dabble a bit into Admire as well, which again, French kiss is this one and Admire is this one. And I'm just gonna touch them very gently, both of them. And I'm just gonna go above the nose, on the side. And the perfect thing to do here is when you have that bake, because the bake is just gonna soften things out. Okay, so now that I have that going for me, I'm gonna hop between Fantasy and French Kiss, which are gonna be these first two here. And I'm gonna try my best to go around the underneath of the eye area. I don't want that division between the color of the concealer and the blush. I want it to kind of melt into each other. So that's why I'm grabbing both of these very soft tones. Guys, so that is pretty much 4 blushes on the face. How do you guys think this is looking out so far? I'm honestly loving how fresh and bright and beautiful this is looking. Now, for the sake of the video, I don't normally do this unless I'm doing like an avant-garde type of look. I do like to go and contour my face with blushes. The darkest shade that I have here is Lavish. So I'm gonna grab a little bit of Lavish here, tap excess, and I'm just going to suck my cheeks in and go for it. So it's just adding a little bit of warmth back into the contour. Usually I use contours that are a little bit more cool toned, but this is definitely just adding a lot of warmth into your contour. So I think this palette is actually really interesting because, let's say for example, if you're the person who has too much of a cool face going on and you want to add some warmth back into the skin, I think having, you know, depending on your skin tone of course and what you have, but I think like for example adding Living Lavish is working really well to just warm up the skin ever so slightly. All right. So I'm actually really happy of the way this is looking. At first I was like, oh my God, is my face gonna be like pink and it's gonna go crazy? And so far, yes, it is very pink and yes, it's looking very crazy, but yes, I am living my life. So I think I'm pretty happy with what we've got on the face, cheeks, nose, and jawline. Well, not jawline, but you know, contour line. Girl, what am I saying these days? Baby, mama's a little thirsty and I don't have anything to drink. I have primed my eyes with my MAC Laying Low Paint Pot. You guys know I live through paint pots. I'm sorry, P. Louise, I think you're awesome, you're great, boom, boom, boom. But MAC, she's like the queen. She's got the crown, and I'm not just saying it because
like, oh, I'm blah, blah, blah with MAC.
No, it's just, it's performed iconically. It's never creased. I don't need to set it. It works iconically. And I think the P. Louise works iconically, but if you don't work fast with that one, girl, beware, right? So what I think I want to do is I want to grab Admirer, which is this shade right here, right now, and I'm gonna sweep it across the crease. I think that'll give me some beautiful kinds of, you know, vibe. All right, so now that I have applied just that on the kind of crease area, I think this is giving me a little bit of like, a little bit of youthness or youthfulness on the eyes. And I feel kind of really fresh and awake for some reason. Girl, what do you got in here? All right, so let's now take Danity, which is this shade right here. And I'm gonna go in with another fluffy brush here. Now this fluffy brush does have a little bit of my nose contour shade. Nothing honestly that's going to enhance or change the shade. So I'm gonna go sweep that and buff around the crease. Now that we have grab those two shades, which is Admire and Danity, or Dainty. Why do I keep saying Danity? Girl, let me get it together. I'm grabbing a fluffy brush. This is a clean one. It's Morphe M505. Honestly, one of my favorite fluffy brushes. It just gets the job done like that. And I love her so much. It's in my will that, you know, everybody who goes to my funeral will get like one of these. I am just putting it out there. Okay, so now I'm just gonna touch a little bit into Fantasy, which if you guys don't remember which one that is, Fantasy is this corner kind of rosy tone. Okay, I think this is actually working really well. They're blending very easily on the eyes as well. I am really enjoying how soft and just romantic they're looking. I want to kind of take a little turn here, and I want to grab Forever, which is a shade that we actually haven't really touched. And I'm going to go in for kind of like my entire lid. I think that's going to look really beautiful. This is what it's looking like so far. I think I want to grab a little bit of Lavish Living or Living Lavish, and I want to concentrate it just on the outer edge. I think that'll be really pretty. So now to soften everything out, I'm going to go in with French Kiss, which is this shade right here. I'm just going to softly sweep it kind of around the areas where I feel like I need a little bit more blending. Going back in and packing just a little bit more of Forever in my lid again. Oh, I think my eyes are pretty much done. I just need a little bit of eyeliner, some lashes, and this is a day, honey. I'm gonna do my bottom lash as well. But before I go ahead and do that, I wanted to show you a nice little trick to kind of blend things out. With the same blush between Fantasy and Admire, I'm gonna hop into both of those and kind of soften things out here. So what I wanna do for the bottom lash line, I think I wanna create Living Lavish. I think that's the one that we use the least. So I'm gonna be utilizing that on the bottom lash line, and I'm gonna be smoking it out with Admire and Fantasy as well. For eyeliner, I'm going to be utilizing the Pillow Talk by Charlotte Tilbury, and this is a really gorgeous kind of nudie brown. It almost gives you a hint of red, which is really nice. I think this will go really well with this look. I'm gonna grab this KVD. This is like a crayon, and it's amazing for my waterline, and it's in shade Bubblegum. I don't know if they still sell these guys. I did get it not too long ago, so I'm sure you'll be able to find it. I'm gonna do that on my waterline. My face is fully done, and I've got to be honest, I think the experience overall was really great as blush. I don't think this is an amazing eyeshadow formula. Granted, it's not an eyeshadow formula. It worked well, it built well, but the intensity is just not there because most of the shades, if not all of the shades, are satin. It looks a little cheap around the eye area. On the face though, I think it worked really well. It built up really, really nicely. And I've had it on for a couple of hours now. I don't have anything negative to say about this particular palette. I think that it is very affordable if you're looking definitely to get a lot of bang for your buck. I think this will be a really amazing opportunity. I mean, you are supporting Small Dreams that, you know, definitely she's a household. She's not a small business by any means. But, you know, after what she went through, I'm absolutely sure that her dreams must have felt completely incapable. So for her to be able to bring things like this to us, I'm really excited to continue to try more products from Jackyn Hill Cosmetics. Now, again, there's two palettes in here. There's the Rouge Romance, which is this one, and then there is the Rouge Affair, which is the more warm one, has gorgeous, gorgeous tones in there as well, which again, if you are fair, you're able to utilize that. If you are medium to deep tones, you were able to utilize those comfortably as well. So I think she thought everything thoroughly through. The only thing I didn't love was the fact that they're not matte. They don't look crazy on the skin. They don't look extremely shiny or anything. I don't think it enhanced any texture, but I was a little thrown off because it did say matte and they're really not. So if you are someone who does not like shimmer or a dew or a glow within your formula, this is just not the product for you. However, I think overall it performed really well. They built up really nicely. Very little amount of the product gives you a beautiful, you know, radiance of the tone. And again, I think in the eyes it worked really well. I think this is a really simple look, but kind of effortless and quick. Overall, I'm really excited that I was able to bring this review to you guys. I hope you guys loved it. If you did, leave a comment down below if you want me to try any other particular product from Jackyn Hill Cosmetics. Also, if you haven't subscribed, this is your opportunity to shine, honey. Shine brighter than this highlight because that's how we do up in here. So make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of the craziness. And binge watch, honey. You're already at it. What can I say? I will catch you on the next one. Bye.